Google is the search engine the majority of people in the world go if they need to look up something. In fact, it is estimated that over 30 billion searches are performed on Google every month. Google now has a special feature for mobile users. When you go to search for a topic on Google, a newsfeed appears under the search bar, with what users expect to be the most popular current stories. But are they the most popular stories, or are they simply Google's contribution to the leftist propaganda machine? With all of the news breaking about Hillary's uranium-1 deal with Russia, surely readers wouldn't expect to find some fictional story about Melania being a racist as the top story on Google's mobile newsfeed, or would they? Here's the story that appeared at the top of Google's newsfeed. Newsweek: Melania Trump is lonely and obsessed with Michelle Obama. At least in Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's version of events anyway. The Nigerian author has penned a short story for the New York Times style magazine, T, which paints the First Lady referred to throughout only as Mrs. T as the reluctant wife of the president who displays an unease with her political fame. And she's a little bit racist too. Adichie's micronovel, Janelle Asked to the Bedroom, envisions a conversation between a forlorn Trump and her pilot's instructor Janelle. The story was published on the Times website and on the T magazine Instagram page. In the short story, Janelle is unusually called to join Mrs. T in her bedroom, rather than her home gym, and is surprised to find the First Lady looking disheveled, her manner distracted. Adichie's fictional account also portrays Trump as envious of her predecessor's natural ease in the role of First Lady. Mrs. T shows Janelle a video she's been watching on YouTube of Michelle Obama visiting a classroom. She also reveals a folder full of pictures of Obama on her laptop. "Look at this. I always look at them for the inspiration," she says. In this fictional world, Mrs. T's only source of joy comes from her 11-year-old son, Barron. The First Lady perks up speaking to her son, who is described as sweetly shy and polite, dependent on his mother for his sense of self. But Adichie's imagined Trump also exhibits a casual racism that her husband, President Donald Trump, is often accused of sharing. Mrs. T makes a prejudicial remark when Janelle informs her that her son has been accepted to Harvard University. "He got scholarship to go?" she asks. How automatic, this assumption of a scholarship, and Janelle knew she meant a scholarship not of smarts but of skin, writes Adichie. Janelle Asked to the Bedroom follows an earlier, pre-election short story by Adichie, The Arrangements, also written for The Times. In that story, published in June 2016, Trump quietly doubts her husband's chances of winning the presidency. It also depicts a strained relationship between her and Donald Trump's children from previous marriages, particularly Ivanka Trump, whose close relationship with her husband she envies. Why would Google choose to put that ridiculous story of pure fiction about Melania, that claims she's a racist, at the top of their news feed? Who, at Google, is in charge of deciding which news stories will appear at the top of the feed? Let's take a look at the next two stories, following the fictional Melania smear story. The next most popular story on Google's newsfeed was about Hillary. The story wasn't about what is likely the biggest political scandal in American history, as a massive cover-up that involves former Sec of State Hillary Clinton, Robert Mueller, Jim Comey, Barack Obama, Rod Rosenstein, Andrew McCabe and Bill Clinton. It was instead about how the spies that Hillary helped to send back to Russia after the FBI caught them, were coming ever closer to her, while they were here in the U.S. spying. The next most popular story on Google's newsfeed was about the media's obsession with Rex Tillerson abandoning his post as Trump's Sec of State. Even though Tillerson has denied those claims, Google's third story in their lineup was about who Tillerson's replacement will be.